on the gray head.
This patented rattling jig contains a rattling chamber in the body of the jig. The rattle is amplified by using water as a conductor,
Rockport rattler.
making fish hear it at much greater distances, just like a dinner bell for fish.
If you don't have a Rockport rattler, you ain't catching crappie.
American Crappie Trail here at Kentucky Lake. Man, it's been a good tournament so far, Matt. We've had a lot of good fish and a lot of a lot of the anglers are very excited about the fishing. The lake's coming down, looking for some big strings today. What do you think?
I think we're going to see some big fish. You know, it's third stop this year. I don't know that we've had a dry event yet. It's like Sunday night football where they say, come on, man. I'm tired of the rain. You know, here in the last 2 hours it started raining. We've got lightning popping on the water. We've had some anglers that have used their heads, got off the water, made the right decision. You know, we're going to see some big weights. There's absolutely no question we'll see some good fish. Kentucky Lake's a mecca. It is what I consider home lake, my home lake.
Sure.
It's 5 hours from home for me. But if I want to go fun fishing, this is where it's at. You know, I tell you, Gary Dobbins is here with us. Gary's co-owner here at American Crappie Trail. He come out to see what the crappie fishing industry and the entire scene was all about. I think he's pretty impressed with it. I was telling Gary, I truly feel like Kentucky Lake is one of the best fisheries in the entire country.
I agree with you 100%.
You know, you can fish any which technique that you want, any which way you want, whether it's jigging, pulling, crankbaiting, long lining, spider rigging.
Sure.
Buddy, I'm telling you, you name it, you can catch them. So I'm excited to be here. Excited that American Crappie Trail is here, you know, on behalf of Henry County Tourism. It's truly a pleasure.
Oh yeah, it's a great lake, you know, and it's an icon. This lake is an icon in the crappie fishing world because they've been crappie fishing here for years and years and years. A lot of the techniques that we use today for crappie fishing were developed right here on this lake.
Exactly right.
So, and it's so big, and it has so much different types of structure and terrain. I know you made the decision to do something that hadn't been done before. You opened the whole lake up.
Yeah, that hadn't been done before, not to my knowledge. You know, we're fishing from the Kentucky Dam to the Pickwick Dam. So we give these guys well over 100 miles of fishable water. The only restriction I put on it was the fact that it had to be contiguous waters. I had to be able to get to you via the main river.
Right.
So there was a lot of places these guys could fish, and, you know, spreading them out does justice to the resource. You know, you're not piled up in one area. You've got the sportsmanship of being able to fish your own mats, find your own fish, do your own thing. And it's going to be exciting. I said before we started, you know, we get right into predictions. I would say that we're probably looking at about a 21-pound, 22-pound stringer for 2 days.
For 2 days.
Yeah, and keep in mind, that's post-spawn fish.
Yeah.
You know, those are post-spawn fish. So
that could have very well been a 25 or 26-pound stringer 4 weeks ago.
Absolutely. There's no doubt that could be the case. These fish are kind of a little bit funky right now. You know, they're just coming out of the spawn, coming out of that shallow water, and they're in that transition period where they're trying to get back out to that next depth of water, that deepest, that next ledge, to try to survive. They're there to want to eat, if you will.
Sure.
And that's what they've got. One thing on their mind is survival at this point. How do we get back to that piece of cover? How do I feel like I'm hidden? And how do I eat on a daily basis to stay alive?
You know, and one of the other things that I'm interested in is I want to see which technique proves to be the best technique. Which pattern proves? Is it the spider rig pattern? Is it the one-line jig pattern? I mean, shooting docks. I mean, this is one of the places where you can shoot docks because there's so many docks, residential docks on this lake. And, you know, it's just I'm anxious to see how they catch those winning fish.
And it will be interesting. You know, Randy Pope's from North Carolina. He's here. He's a renowned dock shooter.
Right.
You know, I've heard stories of Randy sitting in his recliner and knocking the finish off of door handles across the room.
Right.
That's how accurate of a dock shooter is. You know, I would say that there's absolutely a proven technique being spider rigging. I think, you know, it's been excelled. It's been developed here. It's been perfected here.
Right.
The one curveball or the monkey wrench that gets thrown into the to the big picture here is the fact of wind.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
the wind has been blowing this afternoon. The storms have come in. Tomorrow's going to be windy. And I'm going to tell you, when we get into these post-spawn crappie, it is an absolute finicky bite. There's a lot of times you have to just sit dead still on top of those fish in order to make them bite. Impossible to do when it's windy.
Exactly.
And I tell you, the crankbaiters may have an advantage tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, you know, I know that when the weather gets bad and post-spawn fish also have a much smaller strike zone than a pre-spawn fish does.
That's right.
Because they're exhausted from spawning. You know, they're lethargic. They don't want to move much. So maybe it's the guy that puts it right in front of his face and can hold it there. You know.
Yeah, that's definitely the key. You know, there's so many places to fish. There's a vast majority of places that you can get out of the wind. You know, it's the angler who puts that plan together to forecast for the wind, to be able to play 4 days of practice, because this has been off limits for 10 days prior to Monday.
Right.
So a guy who looked at the wind forecast, thought well ahead enough in advance, and could find some places that were out of the wind, he's going to have the advantage if he's spider rigging.
Sure he is, because he's got a lot more chances to catch. But also, you know, these fishermen now have so much more advantage with their equipment, like the Lowrance, like the B&M poles, like the Rockport rattlers, you know, the slider jigs. We have equipment now that we've never had before to fish with. So I think that's going to play a big part in it.
Well, I tell you, at Kentucky Lake, if you don't have top-of-the-line electronics, you're not in the game.
Exactly. You got to have those eyeballs.
You
down
can't
there.
fish on history, you know, and I think that's one thing that most anglers try to do is fish on history. But being specific and targeting those brush piles, those treetops or stake beds that are well underneath the water, when you talk about a strike zone, it may be a 2 or 3 foot radius.
Right.
So being able to use those electronics with side imaging to find it, and then down imaging to actually see where those fish are related in that cover, being able to present those baits a foot or two above them, I'm telling you, that's going to be the key to it, and it makes a huge difference here at Kentucky Lake.
Exactly. And that wind is going to be a big factor. And I think most of the fish that are going to be caught that will be caught today have already been caught. Okay? Because we're having a weigh in here in just a few minutes. And so I think that kind of takes some of the strategy of the wind out of today. But I know one thing, it's going to be important tomorrow.
Oh, I guarantee you. There's absolutely no question that tomorrow is a make or break. There's many teams here at Kentucky Lake that are seasoned veterans, locals, a lot of people that frequent Kentucky Lake that consider this their pleasure fishing body of water.
Right. Motors now that are a lot easier to control that boat. We have the blades on the electric anchors or the power pole anchors. We have the blades so you can control the drift of your boat. The equipment is so much, and boat control is so much more advanced than it used to be. I think that'll give the anglers that are on top of that game is going to have a lot better chance tomorrow.
It will. You know, I stop and think about where we've come in the last 5 years in the crappie fishing industry.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it scares me. You know, when I talk about side imaging technology, when I talk about electronics, the last 5 years we've surpassed what I ever thought was possible.
Forward-looking sonar.
It's unbelievable to think where we're going to be in 5 more years.
Exactly. And you know, we have made the commitment that we're going to be the best crappie trail in the country. We're going to pay back more money. We're going to do more for the fishermen. And, you know, that's one thing I mentioned last night. One thing I really think the fishermen are going to benefit from their own participation.
Yeah.
The more they participate with us, the bigger this thing is going to get.
That's absolutely right. I think that, you know, I've tournament fished for many years, and I think that what we have right now from the stigma, the buzz of what we're doing, trying to level the playing field by having an off-limits period, having 4 days of practice, a no information rule. All of those things build up to an excitement that I've not seen
Exactly.
in the past.
And I know you said you'd choke me if I said anything, but we've got more and more exciting things to come in the future for the fishermen.
We do, and I will choke you because we're gonna drop it at that, and we'll let some of that out later. But ACT is here for the anglers. I've been an angler. Gary's been an angler. You've been an angler.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, it's all about what can we do for the anglers, for the crappie fishing industry. I think Gary made a very good point last night at the seminar. He said, hey, look, I've bass fished. I've won 40 fully rigged bass boats out on the West Coast. I've done this, I've done that. And he said it not in an arrogant way.
No.
But in a way to say, hey, look, we're trying to get you guys as crappie anglers to have that same ability, that same platform to be able to have something to fish for where you can make some good money and potentially make a living at doing this.
Exactly. And look at some of our sponsors. I mean, we've got Lucas Oil, we've got Everin Root Outboards, we've got B&M Poles. I mean, we've got Super Clean, all these big sponsors. You can look at this board.
Yeah.
Martin Trusses and Lumber, who builds a lot of the metal buildings all over the United States. We've got big sponsors. General Tire.
Yep.
Those people have recognized the possibility of this tournament trail, and it's just going to get better and better.
It is, and I'm excited to have those guys on board as sponsors because I tell you, a lot of those are non-endemic sponsors.
Exactly.
For them to put the faith and the belief
Yeah.
in the fact that we're going to do things right, we're going to be out here, for the long haul. It means a lot to me because they're not just everyday names. These are industry leaders.
Exactly, and I love the word you use when you say this is a transparent tournament. This is anything you see going out here is for everybody to see. We don't have any hidden agendas. We don't have any favorites. We don't have any people that are not favorites. It's for the fishing public.
Yeah, Sam, I never thought that I would see a day that we
still fishing, and I agree with you 100%. And you and Gary and myself and a lot of the other people that are connected with the American Crappie Trail, that's our goal, is to give something back to the sport.
Yeah, I think that's what it's about. Where we've been, think about this, Sam. We've got crappie forums, we've got social media. Those two things in of itself have really elevated the game of crappie fishing.
Exactly.
And now we're to the point where we absolutely have to start thinking about conservation.
Sure.
We're going to talk about it just as soon as we get back right from this break.
Sounds good.
B&M Pulse is a family-owned business in its third generation of ownership and over 70 years of providing the most extensive line of crappie rods in the industry. We believe that sensitivity is the key to catching crappie, and we've designed a rod for every technique based around this belief. Our products are field-tested by the best fishermen in the country and used by the best guides because their clients can simply catch more crappie.
So when you're choosing your next crappie pole, go with the brand that's won a dozen national championships and more regional events to count. Go with the brand I choose, B&M.
I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
We put the Rockport Rattler to a real test. 2 champion anglers using 4 rods with the competition jigs against 4 rods using the Rockport Rattler. The result, the Rockport Rattler outfished the competition 10-1.
Rockport Rattler Gray Head.
This patented rattling jig contains a rattling chamber in the body of the jig. The rattle is amplified by using water as a conductor,
Rockport Rattler.
making fish hear it at much greater distances, just like a dinner bell for fish.
Break, I talked about social media. I talked about the crappie forums. It's all good stuff. It really is, because it's brought a lot more people into the industry in the sport of crappie fishing. But on the same token, there's always a negative with it. And the negative is the fact that, hey, we're catching them at Kentucky Lake and West Sandy. They're biting, they're biting, they're biting. Well, there were 3 or 4 boats here yesterday, Now there's 40 boats here today, or now there's 100, and you can walk boat to boat. So the negative with that is the fact that there's a lot more people today spider rigging. There's a lot more people fishing, and I truly felt like it was time to take the bull by the horns and say, you know what? It's okay to eat crappie.
Sure.
It's okay. I mean, it's great table fare. Everybody loves to eat them. But on the same token, you know what? Those brood stock fish, those need to go back in the water.
Yes.
You know, we don't need to be taking the 2-pound-plus fish out of each of these reservoirs, these rivers, and putting a knife to them because it does nothing for us. I've got a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old that love to fish.
No, they do love to fish.
I mean, look, I want those fish to be there for my kids and my kids' kids.
Sure.
So, you know, when it comes to conservation, I've helped a team out here today. We talked about oxygen. We talked about stones. Talked about regulators. You know, they called me today. They were a little bit nervous. One of the first tournaments they'd fished, and the fish were laying on their sides. They thought they were going to die, and I talked to them a little bit on the telephone and said, you know, hey, just take a deep breath. You know, it's a nerve-wracking position, but at the end of the day, I want each and every one of the fish that come across this scale to go right in that live release boat right behind you. That'll be launched. We're going right back in that water, and we're going to turn them loose.
And we're not going to have any floaters.
We will not have any floaters.
Yeah.
I'll promise you that. There's the small percentage of tournament anglers that let that happen, ruin it for the rest of us, Sam.
Exactly.
You've seen that over your career.
Oh, big time. And, you know, the thing was that, you know, let's clean 100. Let's clean 150. Let's, you know, that's so far out now that you just can't do that. And I want to talk about that live release boat over there. You know, that live release boat is an engineering feat. I mean, you know, we could take that boat and go out here and distribute those fish. We never touch them. After they're in there, we never touch them. We distribute those fish all over the lake. And, you know, it's just so much better than throwing them off the dock or taking them home and eating them. You know, I'm really proud to be a part of the lead for conservation on these lakes.
Yeah, that's to go one step farther, it's public perception.
Exactly.
You know, the public perception, the local anglers don't like a lot of tournaments to be held on their home body of water because they think we're in here taking coolers of fish. You know, with 10 days off limits, 4 days of practice, nobody wants to eat their paycheck.
No.
All right, that's what I've always called it for years.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I caught 14 pounds on Tuesday. Well, Tuesday doesn't do any good. Game day's Friday and Saturday.
Exactly.
So if you're doing that, you're just burning or eating your paycheck, and I've never understood it.
Yeah.
So it gives us the opportunity when these guys are fishing for more money now than they ever have, it gives them an added sense of urgency.
Exactly.
To put the fish back in the water.
Exactly. And these chambers and these lake associations, they have finally realized that, and they are making steps or trying to improve the launch sites and the places to release these fish, because they realize now that once we cut their heads off, they're worth $2.50 a pound.
Yeah.
But as long as they're alive and swimming, they're worth thousands to these communities.
That's exactly right. And, you know, here in a second, we're going to go to break. But I'll give you just a heads up. David Hamilton's going to come up. David Hamilton with the Henry County Tourism Authority is one of the best individuals that really cares about his resource here at this lake. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back. David's going to be up here with Sam. We'll be right back. Stay right there.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
B&M Pulse is a family-owned business in its third generation of ownership and over 70 years of providing the most extensive line of crappie rods in the industry. We believe that sensitivity is the key to catching crappie, and we've designed a rod for every technique based around this belief. Our products are field-tested by the best fishermen in the country and used by the best guides because their clients can simply catch more crappie.
So when you're choosing your next crappie pole, go with the brand that's won a dozen national championships and more regional events to count. Go with the brand I choose, B&M.
We put the Rockport Rattler to a real test. 2 champion anglers using 4 rods with the competition jigs against 4 rods using the Rockport Rattler. The result, the Rockport Rattler outfished the competition 10-1.
Rockport Rattler Gray Head.
This patented rattling jig contains a rattling chamber in the body of the jig. The rattle is amplified by using water as a conductor,
Rockport Rattler.
making fish hear it at much greater distances, just like a dinner bell for fish.
If you don't have a Rockport Rattler, you ain't catching crappie.
You bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
Welcome back to American Crappie Trail. I'm here with David Hamilton, and David is probably the spearhead of the conservation efforts here around Kentucky Lake. And they've done a great job, and I wanted to talk to him a little bit about your efforts for conservation.
Well, you know, we really stress fish care at these tournaments and stuff,
Sure.
and really tell the folks that are having the tournaments we want to make sure they take care of the fish and don't just stick them out in the water and let them die, because
Sure.
a lot of local people don't like to see that. And we had an instance a couple of years ago where a tournament came in and left us about 200 dead crappie out here in this bay, and it really irritated our local people. Irritated us too.
I can't imagine why they'd be mad, because it's their fish. It's the public's fish.
It is, and I really appreciated the fish care y'all are doing. This is really great, and I think this is an example that all these crappie tournaments that come through and bass tournaments, that they could copy what y'all have done here, because it's important
Matt
for us.
and Gary both have done an excellent job. And when I first sat down to them with those guys and talked to them about being involved with the American Crappie Trail, they were adamant to me about the conservation efforts. And we were going to pick, to be honest with you, we were going to pick places where we knew we could be successful. Let's set the American Crappie Trail up for success. Coming to places like Kentucky Lake, coming to places like Grenada, you know, and because you guys get it.
Yeah, we understand what this is all about. We realize the economic impact it has on our community.
Sure.
And it's just a great sport, and we really like getting the young kids involved, so we're really big with the high school and college level tournaments. So anytime we can get kids out in the outdoors and away from the TV, it's a great thing. And
right.
So that's one thing we do like about all this stuff, to get the kids outdoors. Yeah. And we're really proud to have you guys here and looking forward to next year. And
do you ever get a chance to work with a biologist to talk about the condition of Kentucky Lake?
Yeah, we've talked to them a lot. You know, we had 2 different tournaments where we had a bass tournament, had a big fish kill, and then we had a crappie tournament, and they were about 2 months apart, which really kind of frustrated us about that. And that's when we really started talking to the environmental people at the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Mm-hmm. And of course, they'll tell you that if we took every fish out of this lake through the tournaments we host, it really wouldn't impact the lake. There's a lot of them. Yeah. So, you know, that was the first thing they told us. But they still stressed, we want to stress the fish care at these events and protecting our environment, our lake, because it's what our community survives on.
Sure, your community and your job survives on it. So why wouldn't you want to take care of it?
Absolutely.
You know, one thing I've noticed, and I'm pretty observant about lakes, is the water's been high, the water's come down now, but you don't see a lot of dead shad, you don't see a lot of dead carp, you don't see a lot of dead fish around these banks. So that tells me that the lake is alive and well and oxygenated, and y'all are doing the right things by, you know, looking after it.
Yeah, well, again, it's a natural resource that we got to treasure and protect, because if it's gone, and we won't have fishing tournaments and people won't be able to enjoy the lake. So, you know, now our big concern that we're dealing with now is the Asian carp that have come into the lake.
Right.
That's a big issue for us. So we're trying to work with the state and federal folks to try to address that. We did about 3 weeks ago, had a carp kill. Just all of a sudden, dead carp were everywhere. We don't know what caused it. Don't know anything about it, but the biologists for the state are taking samples from those fish and going to try to figure out what caused it. Hopefully we can replicate it and get rid of them, because we'd love to kill them all if we could.
And I have seen a couple of boats, bow fishing boats out here.
Yeah.
So I don't know if y'all have a tournament or not for the rough fish, But man, that's something you ought to think about. Get those rough fish out of here, man.
Yeah, we haven't had it. We had one carp tournament probably 5 years ago, but there's a lot of bow fishermen that come up here at night and fish, and
sure,
we're proud to have them out there.
Sure,
and that might not be a bad idea to have a bow tournament.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I went to we were thinking about doing some rough fish tournaments, and when I was with Crappie-thon, and I went to one, and they weighed the fish in 55-gallon drums with a come-along. And I said, I think that's a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, used to we'd have tournaments. We had a PVC pipe sitting up here, and you'd put your fish in, it'd roll out in the water, and it'd swim away. But we started having a lot of dead fish as a result of that.
Right.
So we did away with that and started looking at other ways we could handle the fish. And
Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, and having the release boat is very important, and getting those fish back out in the water.
Yeah.
So we're thrilled to death. It's a great deal.
Well, David, I appreciate you being up here with me.
Thank you, Sam.
And I certainly am a fan of Kentucky Lake, and I'm a fan of this community, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Look forward to it. Take care.
Yes, sir.
B&M Pulse is a family-owned business in its third generation of ownership and over 70 years of providing the most extensive line of crappie rods in the industry. We believe that sensitivity is the key to catching crappie, and we've designed a rod for every technique based around this belief. Our products are field tested by the best fishermen in the country and used by the best guides because their clients can simply catch more crappie.
So when you're choosing your next crappie pole, go with the brand that's won a dozen national championships and more regional events to count. Go with the brand I choose, B&M.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
B&M Pulse is a family-owned business in its third generation of ownership and over 70 years of providing the most extensive line of crappie rod in the industry. We believe that sensitivity is the key to catching crappie, and we've designed a rod for every technique based around this belief. Our products are field tested by the best fishermen in the country and used by the best guides because their clients can simply catch more crappie.
So when you're choosing your next crappie pole, go with the brand that's won a dozen national championships and more regional events to count. Go with the brand I choose, B&M.
We put the Rockport Rattler to a real test. 2 champion anglers using 4 rods with the competition jigs against 4 rods using the Rockport Rattler. The result, the Rockport Rattler outfished the competition 10-1.
Rockport Rattler Gray Head.
This patented rattling jig contains a rattling chamber in the body of the jig. The rattle is amplified by using water as a conductor,
Rockport Rattler.
making fish hear it at much greater distances, just like a dinner bell for fish.
If you don't have a Rockport Rattler, you ain't catching crappie.
You bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
Really? All right, we're alive right here. Welcome to the American Crappie Trail, brought to you by Midstate Seed, hosting sponsor today, Henry County Tourism Authority, and the Rushton Lincoln Parish CVB. The hosting hotels here at the American Crappie Trail here at Kentucky Lake are the Quality Inn, the Buchanan Resort, Mansard Island Resort and Marina, and the Cypress Bay Resort. The marina is the Paris Landing. We're right here at beautiful Paris Landing Bay Marina at the landing boat ramp. And the folks, the anglers are lining up. It's been rainy off and on. And we're going to find out here in a couple of days who the next Kentucky Lake champion here at the American Crappie Trail is going to be. And that winner is going to walk away today with a 2017 RT-188C Ranger boat with a 115 horsepower Evinrude to the first place. Plus, on top of that, not including the boat, 100% payback to all the anglers here. Folks, you're not going to find a better payout anywhere in the country in a crappie tournament than the American Crappie Trail. The only way that happens is by our sponsors, which we'd like to take a little moment to thank. We'd like to thank Lucas Oil, Protect the Harvest, B&M Poles, Mid-State Seed, Mid-South Tackle, Martin Metal, General Tire, Ranger Boats, Evinrude Outboards, Valley Fashions, Rockport Rattlers, Super Clean, Gator Guards, Roadrunner, Power Pole, the original Rod Socks, Bug Band, which I have my Bug Band on today, American Angler, Drift Master, Crappie Now Magazine, Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, and the Grizzly Jig Company. Folks, it's going to be exciting. We're going to have a top 10 announced here just really shortly. But let's get right to it, and let's get to weighing some crappie here at the American Crappie Trail on beautiful Kentucky Lake. Let's start out with boat number 58, the team of Mark Williams and Trent Jones. Now, I got a feeling they got a sack today, don't you guys? How you doing? Pretty good. I better turn this mic on. I'm going to hand this right over to you. We got 7 good fish here in the basket today. Let's see what we got. Look out. This is the way to start out today. 1088, our new leader right now. That's how we do it, guys. Tell me, how was it real quick?
Man, it was like a Chinese fire drill. We got in there and put them out about 6 o'clock. And it's kind of slow to start out with. I was starting to get a little worried. And about 6:30, 3 of them I pulled. Bam, bam, bam. And that was our 3 biggest fish.
Speaking of big fish, do we need to weigh one?
Yeah, we do.
We need to weigh one. Let's get down to it and see what we got here, guys.
Anyway.
You want to pull him out of there, don't we? I'll let you find him there. Hold him up there for everybody. See, that's a good one. Here's some Kentucky Lake crappie, folks, getting ready to come right up here to the stage. Check those out. Hold them both up and show everybody what you got there. Look at that. That's some Kentucky Lake. All right. Crowd's already liking it. We haven't even put him to the scale yet. Now, we had an early weight of 194 for big crappie. You know what? I think you're going to take it right over. Look at there. 204.
Good deal.
That's a 2-pound Kentucky Lake crappie, folks. You guys are our current leader on both ends. Congratulations. You got anything held for us tomorrow?
We didn't get to fish, but one of our spots pretty thorough, and 2, and lightning started, and I'm not a big fan of lightning. Our 3 biggest fish were weak, so I told him the lightning started, and we got 3 weak fish, so we decided to come on in. I don't like lightning.
Well, stick around. We're going to have top 10 announced here at the end of the weigh-in. Hope we see you there, guys.
Right,
congratulations. We'll see you in a little bit. Thank you. You bet. All right, folks, that's how we start out here at Kentucky Lake. Coming up next, boat number 25 of Devin Gregson and Jake Gregson. How you doing, guys?
Good.
All right. Got 7 here today, don't you?
Yes, sir.
How'd you catch them?
We caught them in 8 to 10 foot of water with a sausage head and a Strike King Joker.
Well, you're not supposed to tell them till tomorrow because now they're all going to know how you did it. 6:09 for your first day. We appreciate you fishing American Crappie Trail. We're going to see you guys tomorrow, okay? Thank you. Here's your weight ticket. Thank you, guys. Here you go, sir. All right. Coming up next, boat number 17 with a 7-fish limit, Terry Elliott and Mark Harrison. Right now we've got 1088's current leader. You guys got 7 today. How's it going, Terry?
Well, it's been eventful. I'll say that.
All right. Good day 1 start, though. 7:01. Got some more magic for tomorrow?
Well, I hope so. We started with one of the camera boats today, and we probably had 20, 25 fish right off the bat on camera, and it looked good. But I wasn't catching the quality of fish we wanted, so we moved up to some deeper water and started catching fish in 18, 20 foot of water. Went to move to another deep spot. Battery shorted out on the boat. We drove 6 miles to get here, and Matt Morgan was nice enough to let me borrow a truck, and we went bought a battery, changed the battery, got back on the lake, lost about 2.5 hours. At 1 o'clock, the fish we caught deep early this morning, they're just stressed out after the spawn, so I lost those. We started over basically all these fish since 1 o'clock.
Well, that's what separates the pros from the amateurs, guys. Put it together tomorrow. Thanks for fishing with us. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right, coming up next, boat number 42, team of Whitey Outlaw, Mike Parrott. Get on up here, Mike. And I believe you were flying solo again today, weren't you?
Sir.
Did you miss any on your own?
Yeah, I did. I lost a couple good fish. Not having a net, man, you know how that goes.
Well, 5:54. If you need a hand, let me know. I'll put in an hour or two for you tomorrow. All right. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Mike Parrott, everybody. We got got a great crowd out here today. How about it, guys? That's right. Coming up next, boat number 49, John Shantz and Scott Hunt. There's Scott. Here comes Chauncey. Got 7 fish today. How was it out there?
Tough.
Tough. Good start to day one, though. 499, just a 100th under 5 pounds. We're going to see you tomorrow, right?
That's right.
All right, put her together, guys. Thanks for fishing with us. Here's your ticket, John. Got her? Thank you. All right, boat number 19 coming up. Brad Essery and Mike Johnson. Looks like a pretty decent sack there today, guys. How was it for you, Mike?
Well, could have been better. We had one fish die. We got one short of a limit.
Yeah, let's take one off here, and you did. You're still right in the 100 things. That's why it's a 2-day tournament. 689. You guys got something left for tomorrow?
Well, we're going to see.
We'll find out, guys. Appreciate it a lot. Thanks for fishing American Crappie Trail with you. All righty, here's your fish. There you go. All right, I can see already, folks, this is going to line up to be an exciting one for tomorrow, so stick around. The top 10 is going to be announced right at the close of the weigh-in. Right now, let's bring up boat number 1, Steve Abernathy and Larry Hill. How you guys doing today?
Good.
7 fish to the scale.
Yep.
Good day one start for you, 685.
We'll take it today.
It must have been a tough one, huh?
Oh, it's bad.
Anything you'd like to add?
No.
No, he said just let me go. Guys, appreciate you fishing with us. We're going to see you tomorrow, okay? All right, coming up next, boat number 8, Bill Braswell and Frank Campbell. Bill there is sponsored by Gator Guards. Bill, how you doing? Good to see you. 7 fish. You know, when we were down Darbone, you and I housed together, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We're not going to talk
you
about
snore,
it right
you
now, though.
snore.
I don't snore.
You want me
No, that was
you
the other
don't want me
guys.
to reveal anything, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
672 for your day one, guys. Got anything to say about it? Other than you'll take it?
Yeah, we'll take it. Yeah,
All
our best
right.
fish came to last, but been doing that all week.
Well, it's a good day one start. We'll see what you can do to put it together tomorrow. Good to see you, Bill. Frank, thanks for fishing with us. We appreciate it. Good to see you. All right, coming up next, boat number 22, Sean Gore and Joey Peck. Joey, how you doing today?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing good. 7 fish to the scale.
Yeah.
Was this tough for you like everybody else was saying?
Yeah, just a bit.
581 for your day one start. You got something left for 2?
Maybe.
We'll find out. Joey, thanks for fishing with us. Sean, good to see you. Take your fish there, and I got a weigh-in ticket for you, too. Folks, remember, here at the close of the weigh-in, we're going to announce our top 10, so stick around. Got some exciting things to happen there. Coming up next, boat number 53, TJ Todd and Brian Hatch. How you guys doing? That's a nice 7-fish limit there, isn't it? It's going to put you right up there in the 100 things today. 838, that's going to put you right about 3rd, 4th place right now. Not a bad start to your day one. Thank you. Got anything to add to it?
We caught a ton of fish, lost 4 big ones. It hurt us pretty bad. Light bite early. They just wouldn't stay buttoned up.
Well, hope you find those 4 tomorrow.
Hopefully so.
All righty, guys. Appreciate you fishing American Crappie Trail. We're going to see you tomorrow, okay? Thank you. All right, guys, looks like it's 1088 to about 7 pounds. Let's see what boat number 3, Jimmy Ayers and Mike Leonard's got for us today. Guys, how you doing? Good. And over here, one of our American Crappie Trail sponsored teams looks like.
Thank
how
you.
was it?
Yeah, it's been a good day.
791 for your day one, just a shy under 8 pounds. That's going to put you there in top 5 right now. How you feel about that?
Yeah, we had a good day. We saved some spots for tomorrow, so we'll see how tomorrow goes.
That's all you can do, right? That's why they're 2-dayers, right?
That's right.
Appreciate you fishing with us, guys. Thank you so much. All right. Shaping right up. Coming up next, we have boat number 43. Super nice guy, George Parker and Tim Eberly. Guys always have a smile on their face, but you're not smiling today, are you? 7 fish. Get over here, George. How you doing?
Pretty good, man.
How was it?
It was mean.
You were right in the 100 things today, 726. You guys got more for tomorrow?
We didn't have nothing today.
Yeah, it's all right, though. If you look at the scale, you're sitting there right there in 7th place. You never know if it'll hold or not.
What we had today. We're looking forward to it.
Good to see you guys again. Appreciate it a bunch. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, coming up next, he's always got something to say. Chris Bruchart and Jay Burris. Get on up here, buddy. Where's your you know what? One of these days, you're going to have to get your partner to show up.
He's going to get uncrippled here before long, I hope.
All right, 7 fish today for you, 686. Not a bad day for day one fishing alone.
There's only 6 in there.
There are only 6 in there? All right, well, you take 6 then.
We lost 1.
Lost 1. All right.
Cool. Thank you, Bubba.
Good to see you again, Chris. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. All right, folks, shaping up to be an exciting day, too. Right now, we had a squeaker last tournament at Lake Darbone, and the guys fell just a hair short. They've got some payback coming up. Boat number 6, Jim Blackley and Jackie Van Cleve. Looks like Jackie's all healed up. Tim's all good, and we got a healthy 7 fish, right?
Yeah.
Now, we're not going to talk about the last tournament. 9:25 for your day 1 start. Looks like I'm going to put you right about 4th place right now. Looks like you're going to be the hunting again.
Well, we hope to be. Hope to stay up there pretty good.
Now, Jackie, you said last time you weren't going to talk to me anymore. You going to talk to me today?
Yeah, I'm going to stay with you, man. I believe in you.
I
believe you're
appreciate
going to be
that.
all right, man.
All right, I appreciate
I'm
it.
going to let you go.
Guys, great day 1 start. Hope to see you here at top 10 here in just a little bit. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All right. Make sure you guys stick around. I can't say it enough. Top 10's getting shaping right up. But right now, let's go to boat number 60 of Brad Woody and Duke Montgomery. And I'll tell you what, Duke, you're going to get the best hat award for the day. I'm telling you right now. That's a good lid. Got her?
Got it.
7 fish today. Right in the 100 things, 779. You got her shaped up. You got some extras for tomorrow?
Yeah, it was a little bit tough.
Good and then it quit.
You get over there to Mike so they can hear you again. Say it again.
It started off real good and then it just quit.
Start off good and then quit. Well, that's why it's a 2-day tournament. You can put her together and see what happens tomorrow.
We got one in there.
We want to wait for a big one. All right, you got her there? All right, let me get my bag here. See what this Kentucky Lake Big Fish looks like here. Seen some pretty fish today. All right. Right now, 204 is the big fish. That's the one. Sorry, guys, that's the one you picked. It's in. 128. Sorry about that. I got to stick to the rules there. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Appreciate you fishing with us. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, coming up next, we've got, we don't know who we've got. We're coming, though. The McCords, right? How you guys doing today? All right. Before we put that in, let's get them pulled up. So I heard I was actually there at the registration meeting. Looks like they passed a little hat on some bad news. You want to talk about this real quick?
Well, my son lost his house, but, y'all did a good fundraiser. Raised a lot of money last night for him.
I think it was around, was it $1,460? Something like that? $1,860.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? Let's add to it. Your day 1 weight, 842. You're right in the 100 things up there in the top 10, too, so not too bad of a day, right?
We lost 2 fish. I got a 2-pound fish dead in the live well that I wanted to cry about.
That just happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Well, we sure appreciate you guys fishing with us. Sorry about everything that's going on. I hope everything shapes up for you guys, and we appreciate you fishing with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. There's your fish. You want your weigh-in ticket? There you go, Bonnie. Oh, you get the bottom one. How's that? Thanks, guys. All right, we're getting the next guys lined up here. It looks like it's going to be boat number 48 of Bob Robinson and Jeff Riddle. Coming up to the stage here. Looks like they've got a 7-fish limit. Got a fan out there clapping for you, too.
Right.
Bad news is it's only one. But one's better than none, right?
Yeah.
Look at there. Right. You're going to be right up in the 100 things today, too. 928. That's a solid. It's going to put you in about, 4th or 5th place. That's a good start for day 1.
Not bad, not bad. We'll take it.
You guys got more for tomorrow?
Hope so.
Now, this one always, you see him roll his eyes and look up. He knows he's got some fish out there hiding, don't you? You got some spots hanged out for tomorrow?
I don't know now.
All right. Now, I remember you sitting top 10 chair. Where are we at, Darbone?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So I'm expecting big things from you here tomorrow, okay? All right, guys. You will deliver. We appreciate it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, okay? Make sure you guys stick around. Top 10 is going to be announced here real shortly, all right? Coming up next, looks like we got the boat number 33 of Jackie Matheny and Jonathan Grant. The Matheny. I'll get her the second time. All right. How you doing? I'm doing good. How are you?
Great.
Got a story to tell today?
I had a tough day. The wind killed us this morning, and we fought it all day, just over and over and over.
Well, 7 fish today, 645. But, the most important thing is you're here fishing with us.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. I'm just happy to be walking, brother.
There you go. We had, really quick, I know I don't want to, we got to always bring it up because,
sure.
Not everybody on the internet got to hear the story, but you were diagnosed back about 4 or 5 years ago with MS.
4 years ago, and I'm happy to be walking right now.
Yep, and I have to share with you because I witnessed something last night. It's not often that you see an organization be able to somebody give their testimony.
I appreciate
and it was a great thing that I saw today. And one of the things was that God put you in the right place, put you in front of the right doctors and the right people, and it was a very inspirational story. And I hope they get that, and I hope people get to hear it.
Thank
you.
So
good to see you, and I'm really glad you're here fishing with us.
Appreciate
God bless. Thank you. Now, good to see you. Thank you. Here's your weigh-in ticket, John. All right, thanks, guys. All right, coming up next, boat number 23 of Josh Gowan and Alex Rude. Last stops winners. Did she get wet? There's